the worst real estate agents are highly overpaid and the best ones are highly undervalued. And I think that what most people don't understand is there's a difference between being a realtor and being a real estate agent. There are a code of ethics. There is a level of expertise that we have. When there's a problem in real estate, it's a big damn problem. You know, it would be really interesting to me to disc test the members of the National Association, because when you think about communication and marketing, like you got a petri dish of people. And so do you communicate with them as because they're drivers, because most of them are self-employed and, you know, they're running their own businesses? Or do you talk to them because a lot of them are creatives, and, you know, or are they analyticals? I got to tell you, I think that some of the analytical stuff that you send out is quite boring. So I think that you've got to figure out a way to get me that critical information in bite-sized pieces that I can actually then deliver to my consumer. That's where the value is for me, because you've got amazing data. I mean, I think that a lot of members and even buyers, sellers, and investors have no idea the data that you have the most accomplished economists. I mean, my stars and stripes, the economists for the NAR are absolutely insane. And they have such great information. Why don't you get that out to us in bite-sized pieces?
We're doing that a lot more. And so you're preaching to the choir. And
I love it.
The things that we noticed is that we have this great data, but if you put it out there in a long, 7-paragraph blog post or something like that, who's got time to read that?
Right.
Who's got time to then read that and then go click on the report and then go look at, 10 different charts? And so what we've started doing is a couple of things. Just in this first quarter, we published 80 new infographics of just single screen, put it on your Instagram, text it to your client type of easy, usable, whether it's existing home sales, whether it's the profiles of home buyers and sellers, these kinds of big research assets that we have. We're trying to get it out there in a way that both realtors can absorb it, but also that they can then quickly share it with their clients if it's affecting what they're doing. So that was really important. So I totally agree with you. The other thing that we've started doing is actually making it more interactive for members themselves. So we actually launched the end of last year a metro markets data dashboard. It's a mouthful itself, but really what it is just a customizable infographic where you can go into this page, and it's available to all our members, for free as a part of their membership. And you can say, I want to look at the demographic shifts in Atlanta, and this county or in this city or in this state over the course of this amount of time. And it'll give you a custom infographic you can, print out or download and send to your clients or add to that packet when you're going over, listings or things like that. So again, just trying to take those really valuable things we have, like that body of research, and find ways to make it more easy to use and easy to access for our members. But we're just getting started. We're just in the first quarter of this new strategic plan and doing more of this to communicate to members, but also to empower them and give them access to those tools in ways that helps them grow their business. This is really where we're headed.
I love that. And I would say probably if you send out a graphic, and if the friction between you and your buyer, or if the friction for your seller is, then this is the graphic for you. And I would love to have because I all the time want the data to back up what I know. And I can come up with that information because I've been selling real estate since Jesus was a baby. But you underwriting it, the National Association of Realtors underwriting the data, has such an amazing value. And I want to make sure that not only members understand that, but also that the consumer understands that.
Absolutely. And I think that it's such a important way for realtors to show that expertise. Because like you said,
realtors to show that expertise. I mean, let's think through that. I think I could come up with a good marketing campaign for you on that, because when you talk about expertise, it is synonymous with the word realtor. That the realtor has the expertise that not a real estate agent or a real estate professional or a real estate whoever has. You are a realtor. You have a specialized area of expertise, and you need to be able to use it and leverage it to the consumer, for the consumer.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm glad to hear you say that, because expertise was one of the pillars of how we built our new consumer ad campaign this year.
Oh, my stars and stripes.
It was you're preaching to the converted here, but it was the way that we thought about it, just like you said, is that we need to remind consumers, and for us, it was really specifically honing in on first-time home buyers, right?
Yep.
Those folks who are in that moment, and not even every first-time home buyer, right? The folks who are early enough in the process, they're getting serious, but not so far along in the process that they've already made a decision to work with a particular agent or a particular brokerage or not go that route, and really communicate with them, tell them that story, create that aha moment around the professionalism that exists with working with a realtor. So that's really where we went at, was showing the expertise, the preparation, the ethics, all of the elements of professionalism that come with working with a realtor. And it was a really exciting opportunity for us. We tried to take folks behind the scenes in these ads, where we started, it's called More Than Opening Doors, and we started with the beginning, but kind of a normal showing. But as I'm sure you've done many, many times, clients throw curveballs, right? That first-time home buyer says, hey, what about adding an addition? Or, looks like there's something wrong with the plumbing. And in each of those little short films we made for the campaign, that realtor then goes in kind of super realtor mode, then works with an inspector, works with another realtor, goes and sees a lender, brings in a plumber. And we really tried to show how that expertise, how that network, how that really hard work that so often happens behind the scenes that your clients don't get to see.
Right.
Right. And I think that's what's so challenging about communicating your value as a realtor, is that so much of your hard work is not with or in front of your clients. And so we tried to help fill that gap for our members in the new campaign, and really put that hard work and that expertise that's usually behind the scenes and bring it front and center.
Well, this is not your grandma's real estate. I mean, this is not a guided tour, opening doors, real estate anymore. Like because you and I both know, with search portals, they can find 123 Banana Street. They don't need me for that. There are some platforms that will give you a code. They don't even need me for access. Where the consumer needs a realtor, where the realtor's value is intrinsic and intimate knowledge of the market, their ability to negotiate the terms of a legal document of the contract, and their ability to mitigate risk for the consumer. And really, those are the things that you are looking for expertise in a realtor. Is this person, do they have intimate and intrinsic knowledge of the product and where I want to buy? And do they have the ability to negotiate the best terms for me? And do they have the ability to keep me out of problems? Because there's never a problem till there's a problem. And when there's a problem in real estate, it's a big damn problem.
Absolutely. Well, it is a big problem within the largest transaction of a lot of people's lifetime.
Yep.
And that's what we found. We did a bunch of consumer focus groups that I'm sure you would have loved to listen into. And it was fascinating to hear where are those blind spots in the process. And it was creating, as you said, mitigating risk, navigating these negotiations. We were able to shine some light on those like key moments where realtors really show up for their clients.
Yeah.
That's when the light bulb went off with a lot of these consumers. And they said that shows me how valuable that these trusted advisors can be in my corner. And so that's really why we tried to focus the campaign on those key moments behind the scenes.
We had a buyer that was buying new construction, and within the body of the contract, it states that they cannot sell for 2 years without giving the builder the right of first refusal. And they agreed to sell it back to the builder at the same price that they paid.
As a wild clause.
I mean, I nearly fell straight damn out of my chair. And I read it, and then I read it, and then I read it again. And I was like, oh, this is a problem. And we sat our buyer down, and they were like, oh, wait a minute, we didn't realize that. And that's the thing, is like, people do not understand. The worst real estate agents are highly overpaid, and the best ones are highly undervalued. And I think that what most people don't understand is there's a difference between being a realtor and being a real estate agent, and that there are a code of ethics. There is a level of expertise that we have. And I want every buyer, seller, and investor to know my value not only as a real estate professional, but as a realtor. And that's what I want I want your messaging to advocate for me that you should always work with a real estate agent. I was on the plane yesterday with this man, Alex. No lie, crossed my heart. And he said to me that it was a long conversation leading up to this. And he goes, I've got to ask you, what do you do? I said, oh, I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate agent. And he goes, why are you going to Austin? I said, well, I'm going to talk to real estate agents about how to implement video of their business and brand strategy. And he goes, oh, I'm signing a contract tomorrow. I said, oh, but you're a real estate agent. He goes, I'm a real estate agent. I'm buying new construction. I said, oh, my stars and stripes. Please make sure that you read the contract front to back, that you understand every clause. Because if you don't, you do not know. And I told him that story. And he was like, oh, my goodness. And so he's like, can you send me your contact information? So I connected him, sent him my contact information, connected him with my lender. I mean, that is the thing, is like the consumer doesn't have any idea the pitfalls of real estate.
Absolutely. And I think the opportunity that we have, that I think we've tried to start to create with this campaign, was, and no pun intended, but to sort of open the door to these exact kind of conversations, right? To encourage our members to tell those stories, right? To not be afraid to show what goes on behind the scenes, or tell that story of their first really complicated sale, or that biggest problem, or that biggest moment of anxiety that they solved for their clients. So I think that those are the conversations, like one you had on the plane, that really create that aha moment for consumers to say, I need somebody by my side, even if it is a new construction. We brought a new construction condo, my wife and I did, with our realtor more than a decade ago, and had huge issues with it. And he, connected us with an amazing lawyer, connected us with an amazing inspector. Like, we would have not been able to navigate any of that had it not been for the expertise of our realtor. And I think that those are those risks that lurk around the corner that a lot of consumers don't always appreciate. So I think telling that story is super important.